Denver won the toss. They deferred, though, so Matt Prater will kick it off. Jalen Carmely, Josh Wilson back there, and Wilson's going to get an opportunity to return the kick. Taking out of the end zone for Baltimore. Crosses the 20. Flags come down as he came up just across the 25-yard line. Dan Gronkowski making the play on special teams, and Jerome Boger, the veteran referee, will have an early call just 7 seconds in to this one.
Big mistake by Josh Wilson. 6 yards deep in the end zone. He brings this one out. With the penalty, you would expect it to be backed up inside the 15-yard line, maybe even farther.
Holding, receiving team, number 50. 10-yard penalty, first down.
And that is Edgar Jones getting called on the penalty for Baltimore. Joe Flacco, 5-0 in his career against teams from the AFC West. 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You just sense the improvement week in and week out from this guy, Dan.
Yeah, and he told us yesterday to look for the Ravens attacking the Broncos secondary deep off play-action passes early. That may keep Brian Dawkins away from the line of scrimmage and help Ray Rice find some daylight.
Ravens open up at their own 11-yard line. First play from scrimmage. It is play action. Flacco, protection holds up. They'll dump it off for Ray Rice. Yards after the catch. Ray Rice, little shake and bake move. He's hit by Mario Hagan, and he's got a first down. It covers 12 yards. Let's take a look at the starting Baltimore offense. On that offensive line, Jared Gaither still dealing with a back injury. No timetable on his return, so Marshall Yonda continues to start at right tackle. Backs and receivers, you just saw him. Ray Rice is back. He told us he's feeling 100% after that right for Baltimore to work with. And a timeout taken by Denver.
First charge timeout, Denver. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So maybe some confusion on the defensive side of the ball. Who was on the field and how many?
I think that's the question. It appeared that there were just 10 men out there for the Broncos as they head to the sidelines. But, you know, getting back to Ray Rice, to watch him cut off that short outlet pass from Flacco, that shows you the confidence he has now. He told us that he had to get over the scare factor as far as whether his knee was seriously injured or not against Cleveland. It's a bruised knee, and he had an MRI and an X-ray, and once he found out it was nothing serious, that gave him the confidence to make those tough cuts.
Yeah, he said that was the mental hurdle for him. And Rice will get an opportunity. Has some blockers. They were bunched up, tried to accelerate, and there was just no room to work with. Jamal Williams over there to make the play, a gain of 1. Let's take a look at the Denver defense. Justin Bannon, former member of the Baltimore Ravens, signed a 5-year, $22 million deal with Denver during the offseason. Linebacking core, DJ Williams had 10 tackles and a sack last week in that victory over Tennessee. And in the secondary, Andre Goodman returns after missing the last 2 games with a thigh injury. Great matchup today, Bolden and Champ Bailey as well. Flacco, moving pocket, throwing the deep ball. Flacco's got the big arm, and caught! Ed Dixon, the tight end, fighting for extra yards. Joe Flacco with a huge throw downfield to the rookie from Oregon.
Just his second catch of the season, and it couldn't have been a bigger one to get the Ravens started early in this contest against Denver. Flacco lets this ball go about 100 miles. And watch the veteran presence of the rookie, Ed Dixon. Noticing the underthrow, shielding Dawkins away from the pass, going up high and catching it, securing it, and giving the Ravens the ball inside the 20.
58-yard completion, longest of the season for Baltimore. And a 1st and 10 now for the Ravens deep in Denver territory. Pump fake, Flacco out of the pocket. Flacco directing traffic. And he throws it away, out of bounds. DJ Williams supplying the pressure on Big Joe Flacco.
And pressure for the Broncos has been missing all year. Just 4 sacks in 4 games. In fact, 0 sacks from the defensive line. Brian Dawkins has 1 sack. That's DJ Williams 1.5. That's a smart play by Ronaldo Hill as he pushes Todd Heap out of bounds. Flacco just had Heap on that side of the field. Nobody else to throw to.
Now Denver clearly missing Elvis Dumerville, torn pectoral muscle. Flacco will keep it. Joe Flacco dishing out some punishment. And brought down inside the 10. We'll see where they spot the football. 9.5-yard gain or so.
Design quarterback draw. It just goes back 3 steps and then takes off, gets in behind to Chris Chester there, and then just nails middle linebacker DJ Williams. Flacco goes 240, so does DJ Williams. Give the first round of that fight to the quarterback.
Baltimore now facing 3rd and short. Motion man is Heap. Inside handoff. LeRon McClain has got the first down. That's a 3-yard pickup. McClain, a Pro Bowler each of the last 2 years. The game is the same. The only thing that's really changed for McClain, his first name. Used to be LeRon, now he wants to be known as LeRon, and that's what we'll do.
Okay, Ian. Or is it? Yes, it is Ian.
It is Ian. Stick with that, Dan. Or is it Don?
It's Dano.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line for Baltimore. McClain now in his 4th year, the multi-purpose back out of Alabama. He's got a lot of power. On 1st and goal, Ravens trying to strike first. The rush, Flacco, he's in. Touchdown, Baltimore. You've got one official saying it was a touchdown. The official on the far side claims that Flacco went down.
It'll be interesting to see who gets the call here, because the official on the far side of the field had a better look at Flacco and may have saw his knee go down before he stretched out to get in the end zone. Again, Flacco taking off a quarterback sneak all on his own. I think he was down before he broke the plane. Good tackle there. Real down low by Justin Bannon.
The goal line. We'll play 2nd down.
So the ruling on the field will be that Flacco was short. The official on the far side of the field won that argument.
Heck of a tackle by Bannon as Flacco was by him. He reached out and kept him just short of the end zone. I think that's a good call by the officials, and good communication by the men in stripes.
Yeah,
clearly down.
He looked to be down. How about this now, Dan? Haloti Ngata, they have used in the fullback role. He shifts over to tight end. 2nd and goal. Handoff. It's McGahee fighting on the inside, and he didn't get there. It'll be 3rd and goal for Baltimore.
Well, they ran behind Ngata, who lined up as a tight end on the left side of the line of scrimmage. There he is, number 92, and he's working there and lost his footing, and that allowed the defense to get in there. Jason Hunter did a nice job of holding off the big guy.
They were still peeling off that pile as McGahee was down. And just now they're starting the play clock, so 3rd and goal for Baltimore. 9th play of the drive, chance to strike first here for the Ravens. On 3rd and goal. Handoff, McGahee hit hard, and McGahee denied. DJ Williams with the stick.
DJ Williams and Ronaldo Hill, the safety, came up. Here's DJ Williams, number 55. 23 on the other side is Hill. He crashes in there. Great teamwork as Hill took out the legs of LeRon McClain and allowed DJ Williams to push McGahee backwards.
Well, Dan, they're going for it on 4th down. They want the 7. 4th and goal for Baltimore. Opening drive. Fake the handoff. Flacco looking. Flacco in trouble. And Flacco is sacked. The Denver defense. Huge plays out around the goal line. Jason Hunter, first man there. It's a loss of 14. Baltimore turns it over on downs.
And Haloti Ngata is lined up right here. He's the intended receiver. He is still having trouble getting to his feet here. Interesting play call by Cam Cameron and the Ravens, and a happy Josh McDaniels.
And what a stand for Denver. Baltimore and Denver scoreless, 9:31 mark of the first quarter. A couple things to look at here, Dan. In addition to the fact that Baltimore didn't score, their very valuable Haloti Ngata, defensive player playing offense, got injured on the play.
Yeah, and Darcel McBath, who was in charge of guarding Ngata, is being tended to, and they're bringing the cart out for him. There's Ngata, and he's open initially right here in the back of the end zone. And there's 31, McBath. And he gets tangled up right there and may have injured his leg. Interesting call, though. And you go back here. First and goal, or second and goal at the 6-inch line. And Denver, with great penetration, kept McGahee out twice, and then a real curious call to try to fool Denver on 4th and 1 and throw a play-action pass to a defensive tackle.
So Joe Flacco having a chat with quarterbacks coach Jim Zorn, former head coach of the Washington Redskins, to come up empty as Baltimore did everything right until that sequence of calls.
Yeah, they did a real good job of getting penetration here. Number 52 is Jason Hunter. He's going to get the first lick on Flacco, and then Robert Ayers and company. Mario Hagan as well. So linebackers picking up that sack. A 14-yard sack and keeping the Ravens off the board.
And backup safety Darcel McBath carted off the field, former second-round pick out of Texas Tech. Broncos take over on first down. Little trickery. Orton for Eddie Royal. And Royal accelerates to the 20-yard line, hit by Jameel McClain for a 5-yard gain. Kyle Orton, last year to this year, the improvement has been obvious, and the numbers show that.
Well, it's been his pass distribution that's been exceptional. 4 of his wide receivers are in double digits in catches, but he could sure use some help in the running attack. Maybe that was a running a game play right there off the fake reverse, swinging it out to Royal.
Lawrence Maroney is in the backfield. Motion man is Demaryius Thomas, the rookie out of Georgia Tech. Handoff. And Maroney swamped Tom Zibikowski, first man there, no gain on the play. Again, with running backs on the Denver Broncos, we're talking about gaining inches, not yards.
Well, you can see there, this is a second down play, and with about, you don't see any wide receivers here, all linemen and tight ends. And this is a less than 17-inch run.
Yeah, it's true. We asked Josh McDaniels about it. He said, look, there are no shortcuts. You got to block them better. You got to finish your blocks. When you struggle with confidence, it affects the running backs. And it's been a domino effect for Denver. 3rd and 5. Here comes the rush. Orton to throw, unloads. Great hands. And Thomas hauls it in for a first down. Boy, he is the complete package. Big target at 6'3", working against Lardarius Webb. And Thomas moves the chains for Denver.
And how about this catch? Orton throws it a little bit low, and look at the big guy go down there. 6'3", picks up a huge first down with that 10-yard gain. Beautiful catch.
Baltimore was very interested in Thomas, but Denver was able to nab him with the number 22 pick. Again, they use Eddie Royal on the end around and a flag down. Royal busting it down the sideline and forced out of bounds. He was able to find the running room. Blocking downfield, though, could bring this one back.
Or illegal blocking downfield will bring it back.
Holding. Offense. Number 88. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
And it's his fellow wide receiver, Demaryius Thomas, negating a 33-yard run from Royal.
Shows good hands on the previous play, bad hands on this play as he reaches out and holds a defensive back. That was a slow developing reverse play, and the officials always looking for some type of hold on a play that takes so long to get underway.
So now it's 1st and 20 for Denver. Back it up. Terrell Buckhalter, the veteran, formerly with the Philadelphia Eagles, has checked in. Motion man Royal. Fake the handoff. Rush coming. Orton gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Jared Johnson got his hands on Orton, and Orton fortunate just to dump the football off. Let's take a look at this starting offense for Denver. A change. Russ Hochstein, the veteran, now in his 10th year. He knew McDaniels from their New England days. He gets the start. Stanley Daniels is inactive, and not because of injury. Backs and receivers, all of these receivers for Denver bring a little something different to the table. Brandon Lloyd last week, 11 catches, 115 yards in that 26-20 win in Tennessee. 2nd and 20. Orton will operate out of the gun. Buckhalter in there, 3 receiver set. Inside handoff, Buckhalter with a head of steam and able to lean forward as he gets across the 25-yard line, hit by Ray Lewis, a 6.5-yard gain on 2nd down. Defensively for Baltimore, Haloti Ngata, we saw him on offense, and he is back in there now for Baltimore on that D-line, playing at an extremely high level. Linebackers, Terrell Suggs, big matchup today against the Pro Bowler Ryan Clady. And in the secondary, you'll see a bunch of them because of what Denver does offensively, and that will include the nickel, Lardarius Webb, who's an exciting talent in his 2nd year out of Nicholls State. 6th play of the drive. Empty backfield on a 3rd and 13. The quick toss, and Thomas cut down very quickly. A modest gain of 2. Denver is forced to punt. Ray Lewis over there to make the play defensively.
Yeah, great recognition by Lewis, and that's one of his specialties. Gets into the game plan like nobody else. He saw that that was going to be a quick screen out to the wide receiver, and he was there when the ball got there.
Britton Colquitt to punt, and Tom Zbikowski, the return man. Colquitt coming from a punting family. His dad Craig, an NFL punter for 8 years with Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. Brother Dustin is the punter for the Kansas City Chiefs, averaging 45.5 yards per punt. Zbikowski backpedals, brings it in cleanly at the 19, and Baltimore has been getting absolutely meager returns off of punts. Wesley Woodyard with a stop. First quarter action continues when we come back to Baltimore. A pretty good assignment for our camera people working the Inner Harbor here in Baltimore and what has been a spectacular weather weekend. The Ravens and the Broncos scoreless, 5:21 to play in the first quarter. Baltimore had an opportunity, a golden one, could not convert from the goal line. Second possession. Ray Rice, a running lane as he spins out to the 39-yard line. Good block by Ben Grubbs on the left side of that offensive line. That's a 12-yard burst. So Denver comes up empty on its first possession. They tried to mix in some of the run, but you could tell they're pressing in that running game and looking for creative ways to get it going.
Yeah, creative ways with reverses to Eddie Royal.
First down for Baltimore, just short of the 40-yard line. Flacco, play action. Excellent protection. And Rice is stomped down by DJ Williams. It's a 2-yard pickup for Rice through the air.
Well, the last drive got off to a great start with his 58-yard reception by the rookie Ed Dixon over Brian Dawkins. And Flacco is going to get stopped just inches short. And that turned out to be a huge play because on 4th down after McGahee got stopped twice, Jason Hunter and Mario Hagan dropped Flacco for a 14-yard sack.
How huge was that call down to the goal line where it looked like Flacco may have gotten in, but the officials made the right call. He was down. Ray Rice running into the line, and just about everybody involved defensively as he picks up 2 yards. Time to head to New York. NFL Today update and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Ian. Brandon Jackson rambled 71 yards for Green Bay to set this up. Aaron Rodgers, the 5-yard touchdown pass to Donald Lee. Packers take the lead at FedEx Field on the Redskins, 7-0 first quarter. Ian and Dan, back to you.
Oh boy, Greg, that Green Bay offense, they can absolutely hurt you in so many ways. So many weapons for Aaron Rodgers to work with. On 3rd down, Flacco on time for Derek Mason. And Mason able to turn it upfield for extra yardage into Denver territory and out of bounds at the 38. Nate Jones was in as an extra defensive back, and that's who they threw at. Andre Goodman already out of the game. Parrish Cox has replaced him.
Well, this is the first time out of 5 throws that Flacco has even looked for a wide receiver, and he finds a wide open Derek Mason. 36 years old, still getting it done. 19 yards on that play.
Mason, 877 career receptions now. Motion man is Bolden. They're yet to get him involved on a first down for Baltimore. Good play fake. Flacco. Perfectly thrown for Todd Heat. Heat matched up with the corner, Parrish Cox, rookie out of Oklahoma State, and the veteran tight end wins that matchup.
You couldn't have said it better either, partner. A perfect throw in stride. Watch Flacco as he gets back here after the play fake. The protection is just solid, but this throw could not be better. Right up high, right in front of the face of Heat, in front of the rookie, Parrish Cox. Wow, another good throw by Flacco.
And a 22-yard gain. 1st and 10 for Baltimore, just outside the 15-yard line of Denver. Ravens threatening again. Flacco to throw. Fires. Hauled in by Bolden. And Anquan Bolden is one tough competitor. He took a shot from Brian Dawkins. Those two know each other from their NFC days. It's an 8-yard pickup for Bolden, who would not go down easily.
Well, that's what Champ Bailey told us yesterday. He says he's such a physical receiver. We can't let him run with the ball after the catch. He's like a running back, so you got to get on him quickly and get him down. Bailey got help that time from Dawkins.
2nd and 2 for the Ravens. Inside the 10-yard line. Heap is the motion man. Inside rush. McClain. 1st down, 1st and goal inside the 5 for Baltimore. So the Ravens moving the ball down the field with ease once again. Let's see if they can turn it into points.
And McClain said, I want the ball again. Give me the ball again. Let's quit fooling around as the Ravens go right to the line of scrimmage here on 1st and goal.
8th play of the drive. It's McClain barreling ahead, and McClain did not get there. Short once again. There's a wall over there somewhere that Baltimore can't seem to break. Hunter and McBean combined to bring him down.
Yeah, they're getting good push there, but they're not finishing the blocks. Again, Reynaldo Hill, 23, is going to slice in here, totally unblocked. Great recognition by Hill, and he stops McClain short.
2nd and goal. Rice shifts out of the backfield. Flacco will do it himself. Touchdown, Ravens. Baltimore gets on the board. Joe Flacco, all 6'6" of him, getting across the line and breaking the play.
Yeah, the heck with all these high-paid running backs. Let the quarterback get the old quarterback sneak and put it in the end zone. Flacco came up short moments ago. No question he was in that time.
9 plays, 73 yards. It took 4 minutes and 36 seconds. 3rd career rushing touchdown for Joe Flacco. Billy Cundiff on for the extra point. Baltimore with a 7-0 advantage. 45 seconds to play. Opening quarter. Another impressive drive. This time it turns into 7 points for the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Flacco with a 1-yard rushing touchdown.
And with the previous drive that didn't get any points, they went 10 plays, 74 yards. The big key, though, for Baltimore, 10 minutes, 5 seconds off the clock of this first quarter.
And John Harbaugh's squad has gained 147 yards in the first quarter. Denver with 24 yards. Demaryius Thomas, the return man. Billy Cundiff will kick it off. Thomas had not returned kicks since playing on his JV team in 10th grade until last week. And he's not going to take this one out. And keep in mind, Thomas did have a 65-yard kick return against Tennessee. Joe Flacco, impressive start for the Baltimore Ravens, who lead it 7-0. Late stages first quarter here in Baltimore. 7-0 Ravens leading the Broncos. 1st and 10 for Denver at the 20-yard line. And Orton will work out of the shotgun. 4 receivers set. Orton throws. Almost intercepted. Brandon Lloyd in a matchup with Fabian Washington as Washington makes the play. Don't miss fantasy football today. Postgame, that's live tonight at 7:30 Eastern. The web's only Sunday night fantasy postgame show is on CBSSports.com. The numbers so far: Baltimore 147 yards, Denver limited to 24 yards on its first possession. It's only the second possession of the game for the Denver Broncos because of the long drives and possessions for Baltimore. 2nd and 10 on a pitch. Maroney slides through and is able to pick up 4 yards as he snakes his way. Terrell Suggs over there to make the play for the Ravens. We'll give him a gain of 5.
Well, that's the type of running attack that Josh McDaniels told us the Broncos want to feature today, is more downhill runs for Maroney. Double team the point of attack and let him pick a crack in that defense. But so far today, this purple gang, there's been very few cracks.
Now, last week, Denver had 10 rushes that went for no gain or negative yardage, losses. Yeah, that's unheard of at this level. End of the first quarter. Baltimore with a 7-0 lead. We'll have second quarter action coming up as we continue the NFL on CBS Live from Baltimore. Future Hall of Famer Ed Reed out with a hip injury. Right now he's the highest paid assistant coach in the NFL.
He's got a headset on and everything, yelling instructions to his teammates.
Start of the second quarter, 3rd and 5 for Denver. Baltimore with a 7-0 lead. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. 4 receivers set here for the Broncos. 6 defensive backs for Baltimore. Orton throws complete to Eddie Royal, and Royal has got a first down. He crosses the 30-yard line, and Denver's drive will continue after the 6-yard pickup.
Great play by Royal to duck under the tackle of Ray Lewis. Watch after the catch. Lewis comes over the right hand. That should have been called face mask right there, because he got his hand inside the opening of the helmet there. Was not called. Heads up, perhaps, by Eddie Royal getting that first down. 8
catches, 113 yards, and a touchdown last week. A pitch for Maroney. Nowhere to go. Jared Johnson read it perfectly. It's a loss of 1 on the play.
Now, Greg Madison, defensive coordinator for the Ravens, told me that he wants his front 7 to stop this run and let the 4 guys on the back end of the defense worry about this passing attack. And so far, it's working perfectly for the Ravens. That time, Jared Johnson was unblocked and forced Maroney into a 2-yard loss.
Denver last in the NFL in rushing, averaging 55 yards per game on the ground. Last week, Kyle Orton was their leading rusher, and he is their leading rusher at 2.9 per carry. Almost picked off. Trying to force it to Brandon Lloyd, and Fabian Washington again there to make the play defensively. NFL Today update. Back to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Ian, the Bucs and the Bengals are scoreless no more. Carson Palmer, 43 yards to Terrell Owens. Only the second time all season T.O. has been able to pose in the end zone. 7-0 Cincinnati over Tampa Bay. Ian and Dan, back to you.
Well, you know what Cincinnati is capable of with T.O. and Ocho Cinco, and we're getting a little glimpse of it here in the early part of the regular season. 3rd and 11 now for Denver. Shotgun, they're going to run it. And Correll Buckhalter is cut down as he crossed the 35-yard line, a gain of 8. Ray Lewis involved in that stop, and Denver will have to punt it. Ed Reed, the assistant coach, Ed Reed, likes what he sees.
Well, Ladarius Webb told us that now it has helped Lardarius because he knows what to look for. He knows what Ed's thinking about, and he understands his thought process, but he wishes he would just back off sometimes.
Yeah, we asked Lardarius about Ed Reed coming back. He goes, I'm excited to have him back on the field. I'm also excited that I won't have to hear him from the sideline. Britton Colquitt to punt it, and Tom Zbikowski is the return man, averaging 5.7 yards per return, a long of 20. Colquitt, high punt. Zbikowski waiting for it at the 16. And tripped up as he crossed the 25-yard line by Wesley Woodyard. 46-yard punt, 11-yard return. Ed Reed very close to coming back. John Harbaugh says he's physically ready. Back here in Baltimore, Ray Lewis and the Ravens defense again playing with that physicality and ferocity that they've been known for. Denver having a tough time moving the ball. Baltimore is not. T.J. Houshmandzadeh at the 45-yard line. Parrish Cox there defensively to make that play. Support the NFL's A Crucial Catch breast cancer awareness campaign by bidding on authentic game day NFL Pink products and experiences at NFL.com/auction. Proceeds will benefit the American Cancer Society. And just like last week, we see pink throughout the stadium, all around the NFL. All for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. After the 17-yard gain, Ray Rice bursting through the hole. And Rice with a big gainer into Denver territory out across the 40-yard line. Brian Dawkins whiffed, and Rice made him pay. It's an 18-yard pickup.
He whiffed because Rice is able to cut on that banged-up left knee. How many moves does he make right here? Gets in behind McClain, the fullback. Just a power play. This is 30 power. Good block on DJ Williams. That's a good sharp cut right there. Dawkins misses the tackle, and it's inside the 40.
Yeah, Rice told us last week that coaches held him back, and it turned out to be the smart choice. He tried to help out in other areas, blocking, etc. Flacco to Hushmanzada again. Hushmanzada complaining about his lack of touches this week. And already on this drive, a couple of touches. That one is good for 7 yards. Parrish Cox in coverage for Denver.
This offensive line giving Flacco a lot of time. He's now thrown the ball 9 times. He's completed 8 of them to 6 different receivers. Doesn't get much better than that.
2nd and 3. Willis McGahee in the backfield. Motion man is Bolden. Nope, make it Ray Rice. And Rice with a spin move out across the 30-yard line, and he has got enough for the first down. 3-yard pickup. Joe Flacco so far today, he's doing everything right running this Baltimore offense.
Yeah, this 58-yard bomb got him started, although the Ravens did not get a touchdown out of it. That's the rookie Ed Dixon. There's Flacco going in for the touchdown. 3 rushes for 14 yards for Flacco. And there you talk about, we talked about the 8 completions to 6 different receivers. You know how tough that makes it on the defense to zero in on one guy, which Denver has done so well this year. They basically, against Indianapolis, took Reggie Wayne out of the game with double coverage, and they took Dallas Clark out of the game by roughing him up at the line of scrimmage.
They made the first down by a wide margin. Baltimore moves the chains. 10:41 mark of this second quarter. A 7-0 lead. They've got 11 first down so far in this first half, and Josh McDaniels, his offense just hasn't had the football enough. Total yards 193 to 42 in favor of the Ravens.
And Denver's lucky to be only down by 7. Ravens with some curious goal line play selection on their first drive. Didn't get anything out of a goal line play.
Ravens are 13-4 at home under John Harbaugh, now in his 3rd year. Fake the handoff. Flacco. Deep ball up in the air. Flag down, looking for Derek Mason. Matched up against the rookie, Joe Flacco, looking for anyone matched up with Parrish Cox right now. He just never played the ball.
No, but he did prevent a touchdown with the play. So you got to give the rookie some credit because Mason was way behind Cox.
Defense, number 24, not playing the football.
Boy, they're blaming it on Champ Bailey. Champ's not going to like that. He wasn't anywhere near that play. This is Parrish Cox, number 32. And that's pass interference 101. How could they call it on Champ Bailey?
That was a mix-up. First and goal. Ray Rice, untouched. Touchdown, Ravens. Baltimore builds on its lead. Second quarter.
There's no doubt about this touchdown. Rice, without a lead blocker, finds a huge hole behind Ben Grubbs, Michael Orr, and Matt Burke.
First touchdown of the season for Ray Rice. Coming into this game, he had the most touches in the NFL without a touchdown. Well-executed drive, 5 plays, 72 yards. Billy Cundiff tacks on the extra point, and Baltimore with a 14-0 lead. Second quarter over Denver. Dan, I don't know if you've noticed a trend here for Baltimore, but the drives, they've been long, they've been successful, and they've gone 74, 73, and 72 yards first 3 possessions.
I did notice that.
Yeah, you did. We're on the same page. Demaryius Thomas, the return man. Oh, he got clobbered and lost the football. Ravens have got it. A collision.
But it all started with a bad decision. A long kickoff brought out of the back of the end zone by the rookie. And Thomas is still down after that huge hit.
Jason Phillips knocked it loose.
It's like Marcus Smith comes away with it. But the Broncos have got to be concerned about their #1 draft pick, Demaryius Thomas. Look how deep in the end zone he was. He's the fastest player on the team, but he may not be after that big hit.
Jones and Phillips combining. We'll step aside.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do woodchucks chuck wood?
Hey, you dang woodchucks! Quit chucking my wood!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Justin, Peyton, right this way. At Sony, we're creating 3D movies, 3D PlayStation games, and we're perfecting 3D sports. We use this expertise to make the highest quality 3D TVs available. After this, nothing else looks as good. No!
Get off of me. I'm trying. Try harder.
Whoa.
You haven't seen 3D until you've seen it on a Sony.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Sony. And by the new 2011 Lincoln MKX with My Lincoln Touch.
Baltimore with a 14-0 lead over Denver. 10:09 mark of the second quarter. Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings you Ryan Mallett and Arkansas against the Auburn Tigers. It all begins live at 3 Eastern with TIAA Cref College Football Today right here on CBS. The concern right now is for the rookie Demaryius Thomas. On the kickoff return, Thomas got hit and hit hard. It was a violent collision as Jason Phillips and Edgar Jones combined, and you see Thomas's head got thrown backwards. Ball popped loose. Denver was able to recover with Ken Hamlin officially getting the recovery for Baltimore, I should say. And reaction here as players come over to check on Thomas and the fact that he's able to get up on his own feet.
But you remember the kickoff previous to this one, it was a deep kickoff, and the rookie Parrish Cox told Demaryius Thomas, stay in the end zone. This was a very similar type of kickoff, and Cox should have told him to stay in the end zone. We'll get the ball at the 20-yard line. As a result, you've got 2 rookies back there not communicating properly, and this is a result sometimes.
And don't you think being down 14-0, there's something inside you, even as a rookie, that says, maybe I got to go out and make a play. Maybe I can make something happen and bring us back into this thing.
Yeah, the exuberance of youth, perhaps.
Yeah.
Very costly for the Broncos. We can only hope that Demaryius is okay after this vicious hit. Legal hit, low and high, and the ball comes out.
So Baltimore takes over with a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line of Denver. And Thomas was able to walk off on his own to the Denver sideline. So Flacco back on the field. They are just piling on the yards right now. Ray Rice. And Rice brought down quickly by Marcus Thomas, former 4th-round pick out of Florida. He gets a 2-yard gain for Rice. Play so far in the opponent's territory. Baltimore 17. Denver is yet to crack the 50. 4th time in the red zone already for the Ravens. Double tight end set. It's Heap and Dixon. 2nd and 8. Motion man, Hushmanzada. Flacco rushes coming, unloads, floater up top, incomplete. As Ed Dixon was working his way towards the end zone. Brian Dawkins, the safety, the veteran, one of the leaders in coverage.
Trying to take advantage of Dixon right here on the wheel route down the sidelines, and this is good pressure on Flacco as the Broncos blitz, and then good coverage on the back end. Flacco takes a shot there from Robert Ayers, but wisely, I think he saw the coverage and let the ball go out the back of the end zone.
Baltimore came in with the worst turnover differential in the NFL at -7. Flacco throwing, incomplete. Pete and Champ Bailey. And the Ravens drive stalls very quickly after 3 plays.
Good coverage in the secondary, back-to-back plays by the Broncos. Champ Bailey came real close to being able to pick this one off, and if he had, he might have scored. Bailey, playing with a sore heel, was all over the receiver that time.
37-yard field goal attempt for Billy Cundiff. Opportunity to add to Baltimore's lead here. The punter Cook holds it, and Cundiff knocks it through. 17-0, Ravens in front. We still have 9:21 to play in the first half. Baltimore pitching the shutout. Four plays, Baltimore settles for the field goal after the fumble recovery. And Billy Cundiff will kick it off. Eddie Royal, who's got the capability of bringing one back, career long of 95 yards on the return and 1 touchdown, is deep. These have been long, booming kickoffs, and Denver wisely elects to take a knee. Back to the 20-yard line for the Broncos. Tonight, when the CEO of DirecTV goes undercover, well, he's not just plugging in, he's connecting with his employees like never before. All new Undercover Boss, that's tonight only CBS. And Thomas remains on the sideline, getting some words of encouragement from Cassius Vaughn, another rookie. Darcel McBath, it's an ankle injury for him on defense. Orton throwing, and open man is Jabbar Gaffney. Gaffney, the dependable veteran, 23 yards. Josh McDaniels broke down the scouting report for all of his talented wide receivers, and he said Gaffney always gets the job done. You know that he's going to do whatever is asked of him. He mentioned Lloyd, said that he's really smooth, faster than people think, great body control, better body control than anyone he's ever coached. Royal, he said he's in the right spot now, working out of the slot. He'd get open against anyone. And Thomas, he just said he's incredibly explosive. Fastest guy on the team. Flag down. Lawrence Maroney is bottled up at the 45-yard line after the gain of 2. Chris Carr, first man there defensively for the Ravens, and looks like it's going to work against Denver.
It appeared to be illegal motion there. It didn't appear that they got set before the ball was snapped by Orton.
Illegal motion, offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty, replay, first
just
down.
After you praise Gaffney for his receiving, he's illegally in motion.
Yeah, that's the kind of power I have up here. The broadcaster jinx after the kudos. The AFC West standings, Kansas City, biggest surprise in the NFL. Only undefeated team left. But you've got to say, this AFC West division will be completely up for grabs. You know San Diego's capable. Denver has shown offensively they can compete. And you wonder if Kansas City's going to come back to the pack. Give is to Maroney. And Lawrence Maroney knifing his way to the 45-yard line for a 7-yard pickup. So they've been able to get some runs here or there. I'm not sure you can say they've established the running game yet, but at least they're beginning to loosen it.
Well, that defensive stand where they held Baltimore to just that field goal could be huge for Denver if they could go down now and put together a good drive and get some points of their own. But that was the type of running play that Josh McDaniels says he wants to feature today, straight at this big defensive line of Baltimore.
4 receivers set. They bunch 3 receivers to the near side. Orton steps up. Orton throws, and Buckhalter could not handle it. Orton was under duress and had to get rid of it to the check down Buckhalter. Terrell Suggs supplying some heat.
And now it brings up a 3rd down situation. Nobody in the NFL is better at stopping 3rd downs than this Baltimore defense. Just 23% what teams have converted.
And especially at home, because these fans on 3rd down they come to their feet and they get louder.
71,000.
3rd and 8. Movement. Flags come down. They were pointing to the left side of the Denver line.
Well, that's what the crowd does to you, especially on the road. It makes it very difficult for the offensive line to hear the quarterback signals.
The question is, did Baltimore jump or were they coaxed into it?
That's the discussion. You see, even the officials are pointing towards Baltimore.
False start. Offense. Number 10. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You got Gaffney again, did you, partner?
Was that me? Gaffney called on another penalty.
Here's a good battle all day long. This is Ryan Clady, 78 for the Broncos, and Suggs into the neutral zone. That caused Clady to move. Don't see where number 10, Gaffney, moved at all.
3rd and 13. Rush coming. Orton, this sack. Corey Redding. Last week, missed the game with a head injury. Redding returns, the former Lion and Seahawk. Now in his 8th year, showing some quickness and sticking with Kyle Orton. This drive is dead.
Redding 93 right in the middle, working against Cooper. Uses speed to get around and then desire to dive at the legs of Orton to pick up his first sack of the season. Suggs came flying around Clady's, forced Orton to step up. That's where Redding was.
Another punt from Colquitt. And the sure-handed Zibikowski brings it in at the 20-yard line. That's where Baltimore will have the football. Ravens have a 17-0 lead over Denver. Coming in, Baltimore's defense, the numbers speak for themselves. Number 1 ranked in the NFL, allowing just under 236 yards per game. Offensively, when they can get it going like they have so far today, this team is lethal. Flacco on 1st and 10, throwing and broken up. Derek Mason took a shot from Brian Dawkins, and Mason a little bit slow to recover.
Says I'm okay though. This is a heck of a hit by Dawkins. A couple of 36-year-old pros just playing hardball out here. Good legal shot by Dawkins. Derek may go back to Flacco and say, hey, you know, when number 20's in there, put that ball a little bit more on the line to me, a little quicker maybe.
That's how your receivers talk to you after plays like that?
If they can talk.
Yeah, good point. 2nd and 10. And Ray Rice has nowhere to go. Marcus Thomas there defensively. Gain of about a yard on the play. First 4 possessions for Baltimore. They went 10 plays, 74 yards on the opening drive, turned it over on downs, and then touchdown, field goal after the turnover.
Yeah, give Denver's defense credit for that last line, because after just 4 plays, it did settle for that field goal. If Ravens going to get a touchdown, this one be tough for them to come back.
3rd and 9 for Baltimore. 6:38 to play, first half. Flacco throws too high in the direction of Todd Heap, and Baltimore will punt for the first time here today.
That's 4 straight incompletions from Flacco. That time the Broncos brought the blitz from the safety, David Bruton, right into Flacco's face. That caused the ball to sail high.
Sam Cook, excellent directional punter. And Eddie Royal is deep, standing at his own 33-yard line. Cook now in his 5th year, former 6th-round draft pick. Morgan Cox will snap it. High punt, sailing towards the sideline, and Royal does not have the opportunity to touch it. The Denver will have the football. They're in a 17-point hole. Still plenty of time left in this first half. A 53-yard punt by Cook. And we'll have much more coming up when we return to Baltimore. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. Greg Gumbel and company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Week 5 in the NFL. Baltimore with a 17-0 lead over Denver. Flacco, strong numbers, 145 yards. Rice has a touchdown, his first of the season. Orton throwing. He's got Jabbar Gaffney. And Gaffney right at that first down line. It's going to be very close. Just trying to loosen up this #1 rated pass defense, and #1 rated pass offense has not put up the numbers so far, Dan.
And the leading receiver for Denver coming in, Brandon Lloyd, with 25 catches, 18 yards per catch. No catches in the first half.
Looked for him a couple of times. Fabian Washington's done a nice job against him. Andre Brown is in there for the first time in the backfield. And Brown's going to get an opportunity. Former member of the New York Giants, 4th-round pick last year. Spent the season on IR, no gain on the play. Corey Redding with the stop.
That's a couple of good plays by Corey Redding. He got the sack on Orton on the previous possession, and this time he stops Brown in his tracks, brings up another 3rd down attempt for the Broncos.
3rd and 1. Fans come alive here in Baltimore. Double tight end set. Graham and Gronkowski. Maroney. He's got room. Lawrence Maroney taking it to the outside. And a good extra move by him, blocking from Graham and Gaffney up front for a first down. It's a 12-yard gain.
Broncos went with a unbalanced line here. Here's Ryan Clady comes over. Here's Daniel Graham. Watch the block here. And good vision by Maroney as Graham caves in Terrell Suggs. And Maroney bounces to the outside, picks up the first down with ease.
Last week, 19 rushing yards. They've topped that total today. Orton steps up in the pocket. Orton on the move, throwing on the run. And broke it up. Brandon Lloyd, the intended receiver. And again, Fabian Washington drawing that assignment.
Boy, Orton was so close to being over the line of scrimmage when he let that ball go. As he's running out of the pocket, he's looking over his shoulder to see who's chasing him. Lots of guys chasing him. Almost over the line when he threw that ball.
Kyle Orton trying for his 4th consecutive 300-yard passing game. Unfortunate for him, Ed Reed is not in there for Baltimore. Brian Greasy is the only Bronco to ever do that. That's hard to believe. You'd figure John Elway would have accomplished it at some point. Nothing doing for Buckhalter. Haloti Ngata banged up early in this game on offense. And Ngata making his presence felt defensively. It's a loss of 3.
Ngata's number 92, and he gets by the block of Daniel Graham and drops the running back in the backfield. Another big play by Ngata.
And the update on Demaryius Thomas, who got hit on that kickoff return, head and neck injury. He will not return.
He was going to be such a big part of the game plan, too.
3rd and 13 from the gun. Orton steps, throws, it's caught by Royal. Walking a tightrope out on that sideline. Royal's got a first down. First time into Baltimore territory, and a penalty marker down. Thrown back at the 38-yard line. It's coming back.
Great throw by Orton, holding on the Broncos. Frustrated quarterback right now.
Holding, offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
And that's Russ Hochstein getting the start today at left guard. 5th penalty against Denver.
Here's Hochstein right here, and the rush is going to come from the outside. Hochstein got the start today, and he's going to reach out with his left arm on Ray Lewis.
Baltimore's opponents have committed the most penalties so far this season, and they'll go conservative on 3rd down. Not much there for Denver. Broncos forced to punt after the short run by Correll Buckhalter.
It's a concession play call by Josh McDaniels, knowing the momentum is wearing purple throughout this first half. He's hoping that his defense or special teams can make a play at this point.
Britton Colquitt punting. With Tom Sibikowski waiting. 4th punt of the day for Colquitt. was getting a workout in this first half. Zbikowski standing at his own 19-yard line. Spiraling kick. Zbikowski moves forward. And he brings it in right around the 22 for Baltimore. It's been a long day. We haven't even hit halftime yet for Kyle Orton. 2:42 remaining. This week on Showtime's Inside the NFL, two very special guests join JB, Phil, Chris, and Warren to discuss everything football. John McEnroe and David Faraday. That's Inside the NFL, Wednesdays at 9 only on Showtime.
That should be entertaining.
Can't wait till Faraday breaks down Orton's performance here. Two of the great sports personalities out there, McEnroe and Faraday. Pitch for Ray Rice. And Rice with a stutter step move to the 25-yard line as he gains 3. DJ Williams over there to make the play for Denver.
Ravens have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. They get a stoppage at the 2-minute warning. Flacco in the shotgun.
And Dan, they have 200 yards of total offense in this first half. Flacco. And through the hands of Anquan Bolden. Incomplete.
Boy, that's worth the replay because you don't see that very often from Bolden. The one thing that the coaches and players always talk about with Bolden is how strong his hands are. Zip right through him.
100th career game for Anquan Bolden. We asked him about it yesterday and said, this seems like yesterday that I played my first game against Detroit. You asked him, what kind of numbers did you put up?
Pretty good.
Yeah, he had the numbers committed to memory. 10 catches, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns in his NFL debut with Arizona. Flacco out of the pocket. Flacco forced to throw it away. Good pressure there by Denver. And that's something that has kind of gone under the radar now. The Denver defense has picked up last few possessions as Hill and Hunter supplied the heat.
Yeah, and after starting the game 8 of 9, Flacco now has missed his last 6 because of the pressure that's been turned up by the Bronco defense, bringing linebackers and safeties to force him out of the pocket and into throwaways.
Eddie Royal waiting, the punt from Sam Cook. Royal at the 29-yard line for Denver. Flag down. Cook working that right sideline, and Royal never even gets a chance to get near it. But as mentioned, penalty marker thrown back at the 24-yard line of Baltimore. 1:57 to play in this first half.
This will be against Baltimore.
It was a 39-yard punt. Jerome Boger wants to find out what Josh McDaniels wants to do.
Illegal formation, offense. Only 6 men line up on the line of scrimmage. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down, Denver.
Well, Denver will have the football as we've hit the 2-minute warning here in the second quarter. John Harbaugh's squad up 17-0 over the Broncos. The Denver offense has been held to 86 yards in this first half. They have 2 timeouts to work with, trailing 17-0 against Baltimore on a 1st and 10 at the Broncos 41. Kyle Orton 6 of 11 for 55 yards. Throwing and hauled in. Jabbar Gaffney, short gain, just 3 yards on first down.
Heck of a catch with Webb all over his back, but it is a short gain.
Down to 1:38 left, working out of the gun. They deal with the rush, high throw, and Brandon Lloyd can't catch it. Boy, Fabian Washington has done a tremendous job against Brandon Lloyd here today.
Yeah, I mean, this is as good as you can do right here. Ball thrown a little bit to the inside. Good effort by Lloyd, but Fabian Washington, that's 4 plays now that he has been right in the hip pocket of Brandon Lloyd.
Lloyd reunited with Orton, both of them formerly with the Chicago Bears. Washington, formerly of the Oakland Raiders, and a first-round draft pick back in 2005. His career is starting to take off as a member of the Ravens. 3rd and 7. Orton on the quick throw, and that's one way to get Lloyd involved on the slant.
Now that relationship really showed up there because that was a side adjustment The Ravens were coming with a safety blitz. That left man-on-man coverage on the outside. Orton and Lloyd both recognized it.
And a 10-yard gain. First time that Denver has crossed the 50-yard line. We come up on 1 minute to go. First half. Orton steps, and wide open is Gaffney. So now Denver moving the football and doing it with their bread and butter through the air.
Yeah, the key is pass protection. A four-man rush by the Ravens just wasn't good enough as Orton stepped up into the calm spot of the pocket and delivered a strike.
Kyle Orton, 1,419 yards through 4 games. That's the second highest total in NFL history, behind just Kurt Warner from 2000.
Yeah, Orton knows that Suggs is going to be coming around from his blind side. And Ryan Clady doing a good job of protecting Orton, but Orton helping Clady out by stepping up those 2 yards to deliver that ball.
Denver uses a timeout. They have 1 remaining. Yeah, Matt Prater will be an option, but Broncos would love 7, and they get the football back to start the second half. 1:01 left to play. Second quarter. Shotgun for Orton. Orton rifles, didn't have the timing working with Buckhalter, and a penalty marker thrown.
Yeah, thrown in the area where you might expect some holding to be called against the Broncos again.
Holding, offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
And that's the rookie out of Baylor starting at center, J.D. Walton, an All-American his senior season.
Right in the middle is Walton. He's working on Nada, but he has to reach out and pull down Ray Lewis. That's twice now that Ray Lewis has come on blitzes, and twice now the only way the Broncos have been able to stop him is by holding him.
6 first-half penalties against the Denver Broncos, costing them 65 yards. And now a 1st and 20 for Denver. Play clock is down to 1.
Too late. Too late.
Denver's moving in the wrong direction.
Before the snap, delay of game, offense, number 8. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
7 penalties for 70 yards in the first half. Here's the play clock, as you said, Ian, running down. It was just moments ago that the Broncos were well within field goal range for Matt Prater. Now they are really stretching his distance.
And that domino effect. There was a penalty on the previous play and then a delay of game after a penalty for this Denver offense. 1st and 25. Orton takes a look. He'll take a shot downfield and caught by Lloyd. Touchdown, Denver. Kyle Orton, the deep ball to Brandon Lloyd, and the Broncos get on the board for the first time.
Second catch of the day for Brandon Lloyd, and a spectacular one at that. Just a 3-man rush by Baltimore. They dropped 8 into coverage. Jared Johnson drops off. You can see it's a very half-hearted 3-man rush, and Orton sees Lloyd get behind the secondary. DeJuan Landry, 42 yards and a touchdown. Landry cannot allow Lloyd to get behind him in a prevent defense.
And is that living up to the Josh McDaniels scouting report? He said Brandon Lloyd has the best body control of any player he's ever coached, and Lloyd showing it off there with a lunging grab for a touchdown. Finally, Denver is able to loosen up this Baltimore defense, and the extra point is good for Prater.
Well, here is that body control, and a fine route by Brandon Lloyd as he gets inside, fakes the post route right there. That froze Landry, and Landry's in big trouble now, but look at that body control, stretching out, making the catch, and getting down before he slides out of the back of the end zone. Spectacular play by Brandon Lloyd.
Well, you knew Denver was capable of it. The numbers speak for themselves so far in this young season. They know how to throw the football. And Kyle Orton, this is no mirage. Orton just looks so much more comfortable in this offense than he did 1 year ago.
You know, the thing about Orton is that he's doing this right now without his top guy as far as the deep threat in Demaryius Thomas, but Lloyd is so smooth. You just saw how he was cruising down the field. made a great move to the inside. That froze DeJuan Landry, and then just an incredible catch. But the other thing about Orton is he told us, he says, you know, everybody talks about Baltimore blitzing all the time, but they really drop people. They'll drop 8, sometimes they'll drop 9, and if they do, I think we can take advantage of it, as he did that time.
Kickoff from Prater. Josh Wilson, former Seattle Seahawk, on the return for Baltimore. Right up the middle, and Wilson tripped up as he crosses the 20-yard line by David Bruton. 18-yard return. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. Greg Gumbel and the rest of the crew have the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report. So what a jolt for the Denver Broncos to get that touchdown on the board. And if Denver can stop Baltimore here, the Broncos will get the football first to start the second half. 43 seconds remain in the second quarter, but Baltimore does have 3 timeouts to work with.
Yep, that's the key, those 3 timeouts. They can move it down and get their field goal kicker. Cundiff in range.
Shotgun formation for Flacco. Started out hot, has cooled off considerably, and he tosses that ball over the head of Anquan Bolden, and fortunately for him, also over the head of Nate Jones.
Now you got to give the Broncos a lot of credit now as Lloyd comes down to the post and then gets behind Lloyd here. Actually, it's Landry. There's the move. Landry is flat-footed. And the dive and the catch for the 6. 7 straight incompletions for Joe Flacco now.
Brandon Lloyd, formerly with San Francisco, Washington, Chicago. Boy, has he ever found a home with the Denver Broncos. Ray Rice, interior running. He picks up 2.5, 3 yards on the play. We're down to 26 seconds and counting left in this second quarter, and Baltimore is in no rush right now. Doesn't look like Billy Cundiff is going to get an opportunity.
It seems like the last couple of times that Flacco's gone back to pass, he's been forced out of the pocket and had to throw the ball away. So you got to give the Denver Broncos credit for not quitting on this game, getting right back into it.
End of the first half, Baltimore with a 17-7 lead over Denver. We'll come back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. There was a shift. You felt something later stages of the second quarter where Denver's defense started to provide the energy, and now the offense has been able to get some things done, and they open up with the football to start this second half. Eddie Royal on the return, and Royal dives to the 34-yard line. Haruki Nakamura with a stop, a 32-yard return. First half numbers. Passing yards, Denver was able to catch up a bit because it was limited. Now 122 yards through the air. A lot of penalties for the Broncos in that first half. Time of possession balanced out because it was all Baltimore early.
And all Denver defense late in that first half.
So Denver has the football at the 34-yard line. First possession, third quarter. Motion man is Jabbar Gaffney for the Broncos. Orton to throw. Orton on a line. It's complete. Brandon Lloyd accelerating into Baltimore territory, and he's brought down at the 40-yard line. That's a 25-yard pass play, early stages, third quarter.
Well, watch Lloyd working against Fabian Washington and the zone. Washington let him get to the inside, expecting help from Landry, but that ball was thrown so hard and so fast by Orton, the Ravens could not respond.
Lawrence Maroney in the backfield. Orton now getting into a rhythm through the air. On first down, a pitch for Maroney. And Maroney bangs his way inside for a gain of 3. Ray Lewis there to make the play defensively, along with Jameel McClain, the inside linebacker.
Yeah, the Broncos had a lot of trouble starting the game, moving the ball on the ground and through the air. It took them a while to get into the end zone, but you talk about a huge momentum swing that great catch by Brandon Lloyd has supplied to this Bronco team. You've got it right now.
Well, they haven't been as one-dimensional as we've seen in the past, certainly compared to last week, but it's still the passing game where the Broncos are most comfortable. Empty backfield, spread the formation with Orton working out of the gun. Protection holds up. Orton has plenty of time. He pumps, now out of the pocket, throwing on the move, and trying to hit Brandon Lloyd. It's incomplete. Jared Johnson the pressure from Baltimore.
Yeah, I asked Josh McDaniel yesterday, what was the edge, Coach McDaniels, in this game? He says, well, Baltimore really, so far this season, hasn't seen a passing attack that we can show them. And right now, this offensive line doing a good job of protecting Orton. And they're moving the ball through the air.
On a 3rd and 7 now for Denver. Broncos trying to build some momentum here. Off his back foot, Orton up for grabs. Incomplete. Dan Gronkowski, the second-year tight end from Maryland. Covered there by Donnell Ellerbe, the linebacker.
Well, the Ravens said, the heck with this good pass protection. We're going to all-out blitz on you. And this is the outlet for Orton. Great pass to Gronkowski. Ball goes through his hands. Ellerbe with tight coverage, but that should have been a reception for Denver.
Now, Denver could have tried a 55-yard field goal. They're kind of in no man's land here. Instead, Josh McDaniels sends Britton Colquitt onto the field, and Tom Zbikowski, the return man. And this one takes a Baltimore bounce as it caromed toward the 20-yard line. It's going to go down as about a 16-yard punt for Colquitt. Flacco and the Ravens offense when we come back. Baltimore Ravens 3-1. Hosting the Denver Broncos today, and Baltimore with a 17-7 lead. First possession of the second half for Baltimore, and it's Flacco on a 1st and 10 from the 22. Ray Rice, and running into a crowd out near the 25-yard line, getting a gain of 3. Some pushing and shoving after the play as well. First half possessions, Baltimore, long drives, and then not very effective later stages of that first half.
Yeah, these last 4 only took 3 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock, and gave the Broncos a feeling that, hey, we got a lot of time left to get back in this ball game, which they have done.
Baltimore comes in averaging only 84 yards per game rushing. Last season they were at 137. Rice has got blockers, and Rice is slippery. Angles out of bounds. Michael Orr busting out on that left side to help spring Rice for a gain of 8.
Well, the part of the reason they've had trouble running the ball is because that man, Ray Rice, has not been healthy. Bruised his knee against Cleveland, but he looks more than healthy this afternoon. Sharp cuts, good patience. Look at this cut. Getting north and south in the hurt, and his first touchdown of the season on the ground.
Now Rice, who has tremendous balance, second last year behind Chris Johnson, total yards from scrimmage. Flacco on the move, and can't make the connection with Todd Heap. That's the one area, if there would be a criticism of Joe Flacco throwing the football, those little touch passes on the run. Flacco throws such a beautiful ball, and he's unable to convert that one to Heap.
Yeah, you're right, Ian. The ball just sails on him. Sometimes you don't need the big wind up on that type of throw. Just keep it close to your shoulder and pretend you got a dart in your hand and just dart it out to the receiver.
He started 8 of 9, Dan, for 145. He has not hit on a pass in his last 8 attempts. Fake the handoff. Flacco throwing out route. Well-timed Derek Mason out to midfield and a first down for Baltimore.
Yeah, Flacco told Cam Cameron, heck with these short passes, coach. I can throw the long ball as well as anybody. Left foot down, right foot down. That's a good catch by Derek Mason. Champ Bailey right there. Dawkins coming over.
How about the right foot here? Left foot down, right foot. Yep, that's on the green. So Derek Mason with a 17-yard reception and a first down into Denver territory for Baltimore from the 49. Play fake. Flacco knocked up in the air. And McClain was there. It's ruled a clean catch and a loss of 1. Anquan Bolden, the intended receiver.
It's a play-action pass and a quick pass to Bolden. And off target. I wonder if one of the defensive linemen might have either got a hand on it on its way to Bolden. Nope, he just missed the man. Good play there by Dawkins.
Well, if you drop it, It's 2nd and 10. You catch it, and it's a loss of 1, but it is a completion for Joe Flacco. Ray Rice running like he got shot out of a cannon. 4-yard gain brought down by the former Raven Justin Bannett. And Rice over 60 yards rushing. Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator. It's been a really good fit. Cameron with Baltimore under John Harbaugh. And Harbaugh saying it's been a good cop, bad cop between Cameron and Jim Zorn working with Joe Flacco. Cameron being the bad cop and Zorn being the good cop, trying to keep things balanced out. Flacco from the gun. Terrific control there by Houshmandzadeh and a flag throw.
They're going to get Houshmandzadeh for pushing off.
Parrish Cox, the defender in that area.
This one's coming back.
And that's what Denver's indicating.
Houshmandzadeh really shoved with his left hand at the end of that route. That's what freed him.
There are 2 fouls on the
Guilty
play.
smile there, too.
Illegal hands to the face. Offense. That penalty is declined. Pass interference. Offense.
Yeah.
Number 84. Those penalties all set.
What?
Replay 3rd down.
Jerome Boger misspoke there. He meant to say illegal hands to the face on the defense. And this is offsetting penalties then. On the left side of the screen, you'll see the shove right there by Houshmandzadeh. We do not see the hands to the face, but again, working on the outside there against the rookie, Parrish Cox.
So it's basically a do-over after the penalties offset, and a 3rd and 7, 7th play of the drive for Baltimore. Rush is coming. Flacco throwing, and out of bounds. He was looking for Mason. Parrish Cox drew the assignment, the rookie out of Oklahoma State. Stepping in for Andre Goodman. Goodman got the start, but dealing with a quad injury. We saw him early. We have not seen him since.
And part of the problem for Flacco this afternoon is if his guy isn't open right away, he's having trouble finding an outlet receiver. The pressure gets to him, threw that one off his back foot and threw it errantly.
Baltimore has allowed Denver to hang around here. 9:51 to play in the 3rd quarter. End over end. Eddie Royal lets it bounce. It dies inside the 5, but unable to be saved by Marcus Smith. So a touchback. They'll get it at the 20, 46-yard punt, a net of 26. And the Broncos will have it when we come back. More 3rd quarter action as we continue the NFL on CBS from Baltimore. Now, since that 1st quarter, Denver has put together 159 yards. That's 188 total now, and a chance to add to that with a 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. Orton straight back. Orton sets and fires to Brandon Lloyd. And Lloyd starting to catch fire. That's a 14-yard pass and catch. And the numbers are piling up for Lloyd. 4 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
The amazing thing about the Bronco pass offense throughout this early part of the season is that they've had such great success on play action without having any action.
There's no threat of a run. It defies logic.
Well, Orton is so good at faking the run that he gets separation from the rush.
And here is the running play, and it's smashed. Andre Brown driven backwards by Redding and Ray Lewis. Jameel McClain celebrating his hit and a loss of 1 on the play.
Coming into the game, the fearsome foursome. Lloyd, Royal, Gaffney, and Thomas. Good pass distribution. Thomas was going to get a lion's share of the pass game today, although too bad he got hurt in that 2nd quarter.
It was on a kickoff return, a head and neck injury, and he is out for the rest of the day. Play clock is winding down to 2. They get the playoff on a pitch. Buckhalter. Terrell Buckhalter. First hit came from Terrell Suggs. Let's go to New York. Greg Gumbel, NFL Today update.
Ian, thank you. In Cleveland, Atlanta looking for something to jumpstart their offense. How about this? Matt Ryan up top, 45 yards. Roddy White on the receiving end, The Falcons lead Cleveland now 13-10, 7:44 to play in the third. Ian and Dan, back to you.
Well, that Atlanta team 3-1. Matt Ryan had the sophomore slump, trying to bounce back in year number 3 for the Falcons. 3rd and 12. Shotgun for Denver. And flags come down.
They're going to get illegal motion on Gronkowski.
Number 8. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
This crowd really knows when to make noise. 3rd and really long. They're excited about the Ravens defense, and boy, has had a very negative effect on this Bronco offense. That's 8 penalties now for 75 yards.
And 5 of the next 8 games for Baltimore right here at home, M&T Bank Stadium. Third and 17. They handle the rush initially. Orton checking down to Gronkowski. And Gronkowski gets it out across the 35-yard line, but that's where this drive will come to an end. Broncos forced to punt after the 9-yard gain.
This is really turning into a real slugfest, a defensive battle here. The Ravens offensively haven't been able to do anything since the first quarter. And now the Ravens defense forcing a couple of punts here to start the second half out of Denver.
Another punt from Colquitt. And the return man is Carr. Chris Carr hit hard as he crossed the 25-yard line. It's a 45-yard punt and a 9-yard return. David Bruton with the play on special teams. Baltimore in front. They got a touchdown from Ray Rice earlier today, his first of the season, up by 10. Kyle Orton is on pace for 5,676 yards passing this season, which would be an NFL record. He's got 177 yards passing here today. Baltimore, though, has the lead on the handoff for Ray Rice, and Rice hit by Kevin Vickerson after the gain of 3.
I know you want to play special teams in your next life. This is what you got to look forward to. 41's Cassius Vaughn, 29 Kerry Williams. Second-year man Williams, a rookie Vaughn. And there's action away from the ball. Like, be ready for that, Ian.
I will not. I'll say it right now. My next life, I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. 2nd and 7 for Baltimore. Quan Bolden. Quiet day for Bolden. On a pitch, Ray Rice. And Rice zigzags his way out towards the sideline, and the 35-yard line, Jason Hunter making the play for Denver. 4.5, 5-yard gain, inching closer to a first down, and we are under 6 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, you talked about the relationship of Cam Cameron, offensive coordinator, and Jim Zorn, quarterback coach. Zorn obviously played quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, was an outstanding player, so he can empathize with Flacco. Cameron, he just demands from Flacco.
Well, they demand 2 yards right now to get a first down. Toss out for Rice, and he's got the angle. New set of downs for Baltimore to work with. Ray Rice, he is such a threat in the passing game because of what he can do after he catches the football.
This is an unfair race, too. 97 right here is Justin Bannon. And he's just not going to get it done, Justin. Good effort, though.
And back to the ground game. Rice. He could not emerge through what was a hole very briefly for a 3-yard pickup for Rice. And T.J. Williams in on that stop for the Broncos.
12 men on the field. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
And that is penalty number 9 against Josh McDaniel's squad.
Yeah, that's a tough one, too. 12 men on the field. This is the National Football League. We talked about the slow start or the quiet day for Anquan Bolden. Just 1 catch for 8 yards. He had 27 in the first 4 games of the season.
7 catches, 68 yards last week against Pittsburgh. Don Martindale, known by some as Wink, defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos. Willis McGahee is in. McGahee breaking tackles. And McGahee's got a first down into Denver territory. So now Baltimore methodically moving the football and doing it mostly on the ground. That's a 10-yard pickup.
And see 30 power this time. Right behind McLean. We got Michael Orr working. Number 66 is Ben Grubbs. And you know McGahee liked that run because he'd been stuffed on the goal line the last time he had the ball way back in the first drive of the first quarter.
And McGahee remains in the game on a 1st and 10 from the 46. McGahee. And tiptoes his way on the inside. Robert Ayers there. 3-yard gain for Willis McGahee. 3 1,000-yard rushing seasons in his career. And he was a big-time goal line performer last year when he had 14 touchdowns for the Ravens.
And interesting, he's playing and knocking heads with his former college teammate, DJ Williams. Great players at the University of Miami back a few years.
McGahee now in his 8th year in the league. Williams in his 7th year. 2nd and 7 for Baltimore. Flacco, play fake. Flacco up top. Incomplete. Derek Mason, the target. Parrish Cox, the defender.
This is a great job by Parrish Cox. He's been targeted a lot today. Did not buy the out and up move by Mason. And now Mason has to play defensive back and make sure this ball isn't intercepted.
You know, interesting with Joe Flacco, Dan, because you've heard the criticism, as have I, that Flacco doesn't show a whole lot of emotion or energy and his demeanor is kind of flat. What's your take on that?
Well, he's not like a lot of quarterbacks today that are always pointing out and gesturing things, and that's not his style. That's not the system here in Baltimore. I think he's just fine, actually.
Flacco steps up. Flacco breaks free. And Joe Flacco extending the arm, and he was ruled down. Ronaldo Hill over there defensively. The scramble by Flacco. It should be enough for a first down. 7-yard gain for Flacco.
And there's a lot of emotion in that play itself. He's going to be in the pocket. He's a pocket quarterback, but he's a competitor too. Watch him rip out of these tackles here. Knows what he needs for the first down and then stretches out and gets it. The ground cannot cause a fumble. So once this ball hits the ground, his knee is down, still has possession. That's first down at the 35, and a heck of a play by Joe Flacco.
And we asked him about that, if it bothers him. He said, you know what, it actually does bother me. I'm emotional when we score touchdowns. That's the way that he posed it to us. Play action. Good throw to Derek Mason. Parrish Cox, the rookie, dealing with the cagey 14-year veteran Mason. Very close to a 10-yard gain.
Not much Cox could do on that play because the timing was perfect. Flacco faked the handoff, and this got back very quickly. This is going to be real close to a first down. But he got rid of that ball before Cox could react to the hook route by Derek Mason. Jim Zorn on the sidelines competed against Jim way back when, and he was always a very dangerous scrambling quarterback, left-hander who made some plays that we just saw Joe Flacco make, breaking the pocket and picking up first downs.
Jim Zorn was the head coach, not far from here with the Washington Redskins. And now he's a very good sounding board for Joe Flacco. Looked like they moved the football after the initial spot. It is enough for a first down. Out across the 25-yard line. Flacco, handoff, flags down, and big hole for Rice. But penalty markers on the play, which will probably negate this 8-yard gain.
No, it's defense in the neutral zone, Ian.
Wow.
Offside, defense, number 94. That penalty is declined. Second down.
That's Jarvis Moss, the 4th-year former first-round draft pick, number 17 overall back in 2007.
There he is right here, and he is about 2 yards into that neutral zone and beyond.
So now a 2nd and 2, the 8 yards stick. Layron McClain getting an opportunity. And he picks up 2 yards.
Flacco starting to perform today as he did last week in the most crucial time for the Ravens. That final drive, he hit 4 for 4, hit Bolden twice, and then he went to the other side of the field to get Hushmanzada, and here's the winner on the out and up move. Beautiful play by both quarterback and receiver.
Ray Rice squeezing through that hole, and Rice emerges off the blocks of Burke and Yonda. Rice is starting to wear on this Denver defense.
You know, he does everything full speed, too. There's very little hesitation in Ray Rice's game. And I know the offensive line really appreciates that as the Ravens are picking up the tempo.
Down to 20 seconds left, third quarter. Rice, stop and go by Rice, and he's buried on the inside, inching closer to the goal line. Marcus Thomas will be given credit for the stop. Fans react here in Baltimore. A long drive by the Ravens, getting it done mostly on the ground. And we have hit the end of the third quarter with Baltimore in front, 17-7. Time had run out. They tried to get one more play in there, but to no avail.
This is the end of the third quarter.
We'll go to the fourth. This is the NFL on CBS. Start of the fourth quarter in Baltimore. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. Week 5, Baltimore leading Denver 17-7. They've had no scoring in this second half, but Baltimore is knocking on the door right now with a first and goal inside the 5. The legs of Joe Flacco have been as important as his right arm today, Dan.
Yeah, that 7-yard gain on 3rd and 7 was key on this drive.
Flacco, inside handoff. Le'Ron McClain battling. And no touchdown. He picked up a yard inside. It'll be 2nd and goal. Kevin Vickerson with a stop.
How many times we've seen this today? Same play, left side, and the Broncos are ready for it. Vickerson does a super job that time. Remember, McClain goes 260. He couldn't get in the end zone.
2nd and goal, inside the 1. 14th play of this drive. Baltimore trying to extend the lead. Ray Rice, touchdown Ravens, 2nd of the day for Rice.
Yeah, not getting anything on the left side. Let's go on the right side. Get in behind Marshall Yonda, Todd Heap. Ray Rice with real good patience that time. It's a handshake from the head coach, John Harbaugh. Look at Heap's block, and McClain with a kick-out block on Dawkins. Rice is only 5'8", but he gets at those pad level real low, real good power to get in the end zone.
Billy Cundiff, extra point. Baltimore now 24-7 lead over Denver. They do it here early in the fourth quarter. What a long, drawn-out drive by Baltimore for pay dirt. Downtown Baltimore, Ravens leading at 24-7. M&T Bank Stadium has been their home since 1998. Ravens played 2 years at Memorial Stadium as Billy Cundiff kicks it out of bounds. And the Broncos will have it at the 20-yard line. Joe Flacco kept the drive going. Ray Rice finished it off for the Ravens. Denver came in averaging 339-yard passing per game. They're at 170 right now. Start of the fourth quarter, Baltimore 24, Broncos 7. From the 20, Orton, strong throw, as that catch is made by Gaffney and then whistled dead after a gain of 7.
You know, Orton will probably get his 300 yards because they're going to have to throw now. Being down by 17, they have to go no huddle, get right up to the line of scrimmage, call the play, and move.
First 4 games for Denver, the worst rushing numbers in franchise history through 4 weeks of the regular season. Shotgun, Orton, and it's Gaffney again, back-to-back. He's got a first down. Josh Wilson there in coverage as Gaffney ducked out of bounds, a 5-yard pickup.
Remember, the Broncos lost Demaryius Thomas in the second quarter to a head and neck injury on a kickoff return. So they're down their big playmaker.
They still have Gaffney, Royal, and Lloyd, who did have a big play at the end of the second quarter. Look out. Orton gets rid of it with the rush coming. And Eddie Royal able to dive for that football, and another first down for Denver across the 45-yard line. Chris Carr touched him up, a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, you see Royal working in the slot with his speed. That's a real asset. His quickness and sharp route running got him open that time for Orton.
Royal was really a non-factor as a receiver in 2009. Numbers were way off from his rookie year. Orton stops, pumps, and throws downfield, getting the tight end involved, Daniel Graham. So some quick hitters here for Denver, and just like that, they're into Baltimore territory.
And this equals Graham's longest reception of the year. Of course, Orton had a bunch of time to find his tight end over the middle, 28 yards down the field.
First and 10, just short of the 25-yard line. Baltimore with a 24-7 lead on Denver. Orton throwing, and open is Jabbar Gaffney. Brought down just inside the 20-yard line. Ray Lewis over there, 7-yard pickup as Orton continues to pad the numbers.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 on this drive so far. Right in the red zone now. This is where the Broncos haven't been all day long.
238-yard passing now for Kyle Orton. 2nd and 3 for Denver. Shotgun. Orton slings to the sideline, and it's Gaffney again. He was out of bounds, incomplete, in a matchup with Josh Wilson, the 4th-year corner from Maryland.
Heck of an effort by Jabbar Gaffney. Boy, he had one knee in. This might be worth challenging. He had his left knee in as he made this catch. One knee equals 2 feet, according to John Madden. You got a red flag, a red hanky in your pocket, coach. Throw it.
3rd and 3.
That would have been good for the first down.
Shotgun. Orton forced to get rid of it in a hurry. He was looking for Lloyd, and it's incomplete. It's now 4th down for Denver. Josh Wilson, good defensive play.
That's a side adjustment for Brandon Lloyd. And on the outside, Josh Wilson anticipating it because he knew his team was blitzing, and the Broncos used that side adjustment as a way out of the bad play.
Matt Prater has made 16 straight field goals, 2nd longest streak in the NFL behind Olindo Mare of Seattle. This is a 38-yard attempt trying to cut into the Baltimore lead. Colquitt will hold it, and Prater knocks it through. 24-10, Ravens, 11:50 to go, 4th quarter. Denver Broncos, one of 13 teams in the NFL that are 2-2 on the season. Broncos find themselves down against Baltimore, 24-10. 8-play, 61-yard drive. Prater a 38-yard field goal. Orton was trying to make the connection with Jabbar Gaffney. That would have given Denver a first down. He was ruled out of bounds on the catch, and they have to settle for 3. Josh Wilson, and hit as he crossed the 20-yard line. Flags come down, and somebody lost a helmet.
This will back up the Ravens to start this drive, and the Broncos exactly what they needed defensively.
Dan Gronkowski with the hit for Denver, and it was Bruton who lost his hat. 9 penalties against the Denver Broncos today. Baltimore has
During
had 2.
return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 11. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And that's Marcus Smith called in the penalty. Baltimore will be deeper in its own territory when we come back. Dan, I don't know if you actually follow the calendar, but it's the 10th day of the 10th month of 2010. Do you know that?
Well, and Josh McDaniels' record coming into today?
What is it?
10-10.
No.
Eerie.
How many points does Denver have?
10.
This is freaky. 24-10, Baltimore in front. They're on the 10-yard line. Not anymore. Ray Rice A burst up the middle. He crosses the 20. And it's not a 10-yard gain, it's an 11-yard gain.
And when you multiply 10 times 10, you get over 100 yards.
What's he got?
101.
Boy.
Right up the middle. You know, he told us this was his favorite play. The power play, either off the right guard or the left guard. This time it's Ben Grubbs and Matt Burke clearing the hole right up the middle for that 11-yard gain.
Coming up on 11 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Baltimore with a 24-10 advantage. And the give to Rice diving forward. Ronald Fields there defensively. And coming up next, game 2 of our CBS doubleheader. Chris Johnson and the Titans run into the Dallas Cowboys, or Phillip Rivers and the Chargers visit the Oakland Raiders. Stay with us. Game 2 of our NFL doubleheader right here on CBS.
This is a crucial play for the Denver defense right now. They held Rice to a short gain on first down. Look for Brian Dawkins to get involved some way.
152 yards on the ground today. It's Rice. And Rice hit by Parrish Cox, helping in run support, along with the rest of the Denver defense ranging over. It's a 3-yard pickup. Kyle Orton just hoping for an opportunity. His team down by 2 touchdowns as we will hit the 10-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Okay, enough already.
Sorry. One more, I figured. You brought it up to me. 3rd and 7, we'll call it. And timeout, Denver.
First charge, timeout, Denver.
We'll step aside. More fourth quarter action. 3rd and 7 now. After the timeout, fake the handoff. Flacco throws in stride. First down, Ray Rice. Flacco, cool and calm, working against DJ Williams. They'll move the chains and use more clock.
Huge play by the Ravens, converting on this 3rd down because of the pocket. Joe Flacco is just going to go back after the play fake to Rice. Knows he's got Rice. Look at the protection there, the wall. And at 6'6", easily sees over that rush and finds Rice for the first down.
Baltimore 8-2 in its last 10 games against the AFC West, including 5 straight wins as Rice gets the call. And across the 35-yard line, Robert Ayers with the stop. Ray Rice, 110 yards on the ground. And a 2nd and 8 coming up. Denver player banged up on the play. Well, that may be Brian Dawkins. We'll come back with an update for you in a moment. Ray Rice gets the carry. He's across the 40-yard line. Ronald Fields there to bring him down. A 5-yard pickup. Down to 8:36 and counting. It was Dawkins who was injured on the play, and Dawkins now along that Denver sideline. The emotional leader of this Denver defense, Champ Bailey, telling us we all feed off of his energy and enthusiasm.
And it's a day-to-day thing, just not on game day. He's enthusiastic every day of the week, especially at practice.
Now here's a big 3rd down. Denver needs to stop. And Rice picks his way into Denver territory. And a first down run for Rice and the Ravens. 13 yards. NFL Today update to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Ian, Tampa Bay at Cincinnati. Bengals been a little sluggish today. Carson Palmer, 1-yard touchdown pass to Jermaine Grisham, and 2-point conversion is good. 21-14, Bengals in the lead. 12-12 to play in the fourth. Ian and Dan, back to you.
Now, one thing that's pretty obvious, though, Tampa Bay is an improved team from last year. Young squad and competitive right now with Cincinnati on the road. 1st and 10 for Baltimore, 7.5 to play. They've got a 14-point lead. Ray Rice. And he picks up 2 yards for the Ravens. Jason Hunter makes the stop.
Here's Todd Heap blocking on Brian Dawkins. Dawkins is going to get his feet caught up in the pile there as Rice goes low, being tackled by Robert Ayers.
Dawkins, who had a sack last week, 22 sacks in his career. That's the most among active safeties in the NFL. 8 Pro Bowls. Now in his 15th season. 2nd and 8. Baltimore trying to put this game on ice. To Rice. And slides through for a couple. Ryan McBean with the play defensively. Back to New York and Greg for another update.
All right, Ian, in Washington, the Redskins trying to stay in the conversation with Green Bay. Donovan McNabb, 48 yards to Anthony Armstrong with the extra point. Green Bay's lead is down to 3. It's 13-10 Packers. Just a little over 9 minutes to play in the fourth. Ian and Dan.
It's tough to get a read on what Washington is going to be because it seems like a work in progress offensively under Mike Shanahan.
Yeah, well, it's his first year. Got a new quarterback and everything, but McNabb can still wing it, can he?
He sure can. Throws a beautiful deep ball. 6 minutes to go. Flacco. Le'Ron McClain. And McClain, the 2-time Pro Bowler and a fan favorite here in Baltimore, picks up 12 yards and another first down.
You just can't say enough about this pass protection. Flacco's only been sacked once today. That was that 14-yard loss on fourth down and goal from the 1-yard line back in the first quarter, but he had a lot of time to find McClain on the sidelines, and I love the way McClain got up the field, stayed in bounds, keeps the clock rolling, as Denver now's got to start thinking about when to use their final 2 timeouts.
And they will not be able to use the services of Brian Dawkins. It's a knee injury. He will not return here today. 24-10, Baltimore. McGahee. It's got a running lane, and McGahee is gone. Touchdown, Baltimore. McClain with a key block. And the Ravens putting up big points today at home against Denver. They came in averaging 15 points per game. They've doubled it, and an extra point away from 31 on the afternoon.
Now this one's on ice now thanks to McGahee's touchdown run. That's 53 times now he has scored in his 8th career, 8 years.
Billy Cundifon for the extra point. And 5:06 to play. Baltimore 31-10 over Denver. Last year, Broncos came in on November the 1st. They lost to Baltimore 30-7. They ended up going 2-8 the rest of the season after that.
This is Le'Ron McClain. Watch his block on DJ Williams here. He's going to pin Williams to the inside. That's the crease that McGahee needs, and it's a foot race that he's going to win easily. So McClain makes a good play on the previous play with the reception, staying in bounds, and gets a key block on the Broncos' best tackler, middle linebacker DJ Williams.
It is the 5th Ravens drive of over 70 yards today. A couple of rushing touchdowns for Rice, McGahee with a rushing touchdown, Flacco with a rushing touchdown. And the Baltimore Ravens in complete control here in the 4th quarter.
And that great Marshall Yanda, who was also blocking on that right side. First guy to get to McGahee and congratulate him. And I'm sure McGahee congratulated Yanda right back.
Eighth all-time meeting between these two teams. Ravens have never lost to Denver here at home. Baltimore 4-3 against the Broncos. Ravens allowing 13.8 points per game. That ranks 5th in the NFL. Their average margin of victory, though, this year has only been 3.6 points per win. They're up by 21 over Denver. AFC North standings. What a win that was last week over Pittsburgh. And to make that one stick, you got to get the one here at home. And Baltimore is well on its way to doing that. 5 minutes and 6 seconds away from moving to 4-1. Cincinnati's got the lead over Tampa right now. So the Bengals with an opportunity to move over the 500 mark. Broncos take over at the 20. Corral Buckhalter is in there. And we should see the Broncos throwing the rest of the way here. Orton out of bounds in the area of Brandon Lloyd, who has 4 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown here today. Ed Reed still coaching him up on defense. Who's this pass intended for exactly? Cam Cameron? No.
Well, Cam shows that he's got the hands of a coordinator. But you know who was in the neighborhood? Cameron was afraid he was going to get hit by Ed Reed.
That's true. Ed Reed, one of the toughest hitters in the game, and should be back after week 6. Dump off, Buckhold very confident that Ed Reed is going to be the old Ed Reed when he comes back and rejoins his teammates on the field. First down for Denver. Line of scrimmage, the 32. And Jabbar Gaffney with another reception. That covers 5 yards, 8 catches, 79 yards now for the former Texan and Patriot. Signed a 4-year, $10 million deal with the Broncos prior to the 2009 season.
Yeah, Orton has been under pressure a lot today, but he's only been sacked 1 time. So his offensive line has done a good job. They'll be tested now, though. This is a tough time in the ball game when the defense and everybody else knows you got to throw every down.
Down to 4:22 left. Play clock was winding down. Orton is forced to get rid of it. Who was there? Was anybody there?
Not a soul.
Terrell Suggs with the hit on Orton.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys on the sidelines because that's the Denver sideline, but there wasn't anybody on the field to play, and now they're going to throw the flag.
Intentional grounding, offense, number 8. The quarterback was in the pocket and threw the ball into an area where there was no receiver. Loss of down, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Yeah, a big part of this is that Orton was still in the pocket when he threw this ball. So he's going to throw it out here, and he's going to be in this pocket when he lets it roll. Pressure from Suggs right up the middle. There's the throw. There's a receiver about 15 yards away. That's not quite close enough.
So back it up. Line of scrimmage is now the 27-yard line. 3rd and 15 for the Broncos. Orton unable to hit Lloyd cleanly. It's incomplete. Lardarius Webb in coverage, the 2-time Division I AA All-America out of Nicholls State. Denver forced to punt.
I don't see why you punt. You're down 21. You got 4 minutes to go. What's the sense of punting? Why don't you just wave the white flag? You got to go for it.
Britton Colquitt. And it's a short punt to boot.
Or not to boot.
Yeah. Depending on your viewpoint. So Baltimore will still get it with excellent field position after the 33-yard punt. And with 4:05 to go, Baltimore will just try to use as much clock as possible on the ground. Coming up, second half of the doubleheader here on CBS. The Titans and the Cowboys, or the Chargers against the Raiders. Stay with us. Game 2 of the doubleheader right here on CBS. Denver Broncos, first time since 2004 and 2005 that the Broncos have faced a non-divisional opponent on the road in back-to-back years. Ray Rice, he's literally on ice on the sideline. 133 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Willis McGahee in a tailback for Baltimore. And McGahee plowing forward to the 45-yard line for a 5-yard pickup. So Denver electing to punt there on 4th down, giving Baltimore the football back. And some numbers from around the NFL. Eli Manning, 275 yards, a couple of touchdowns, but a couple of picks as well. Forte, huge day for Chicago. No Jay Cutler 157 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Receiving, Hakeem Nicks, 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. Roddy White has gone over 100 for Atlanta with a touchdown. 2nd and 5. McGahee. And a flag thrown as McGahee leans his way to midfield. Would be enough for a first down if it sticks. But a flag thrown back at the 45-yard line.
There is no foul on the play for an ineligible receiver. Number 64 had previously reported as eligible.
That is O'Neal Cousins, who came in as a tight end.
The result of the play is the first down.
Now the home dominance will continue under John Harbaugh. Baltimore will move to 14-4 at home here at M&T Bank Stadium since Harbaugh took over. And for the Denver Broncos, after winning on the road in Nashville, rallying for the touchdown late, Buckhalter taking the lead. They add the field goal to beat Tennessee 26-20. Josh McDaniels and company will fly back home at 2-3 on the season. Three minutes to play. Smith in motion for Baltimore, on the ground for McGahee. And able to stay on his feet as he leans forward for a couple. Well, let's take it from a couple different perspectives here, Dan. If you are Denver, you walk away from this game, Kyle Orton, they really never established the run. That didn't happen. They tried early, but ultimately it was pass, pass, pass for Denver. What do they take out of this game?
Well, they take away a couple of real serious injuries. Brian Dawkins had to leave the game on offense. Their #1 draft pick, Demaryius Thomas, who's injured. Neither of them could return. But their inability to run the ball just puts too much pressure on the passing game, especially when you lose such a talent like Thomas.
McGahee keeps the legs churning. And McGahee brought down just short of the first down. We'll hit the 2-minute warning here in the 4th. Timeout taken, 31-10, Baltimore. So the timeout was called just before the 2-minute warning, it appears. So this is not the full timeout because they used it before the warning. The Denver schedule: home for the Jets next week, then Oakland, then travel to London to meet the San Francisco 49ers, a game we'll have for you here on CBS. First week of November, they'll have the bye and divisional matchups against Kansas City and San Diego.
Talk about a long trip for a couple of teams. San Francisco, all the way to London.
That's a good point.
And of course the Broncos, that's no treat either, leaving from Denver. So that's a tough part of the schedule there. No advantage either way. But the Broncos have got to be concerned about offensively their lack of a running game. Got to have some type of balance.
Yeah, there are teams that have been successful being one-dimensional, but the odds are stacked against you. At some point, it's going to catch up to you. And it certainly caught up to Denver here today as McGahee got thrown backwards. Penalty marker on the play as Fields and Hill were there.
Offense, number 83. 10-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
And Dixon called on the hold for Baltimore. Next up, they will head to New England. That is going to be a battle.
But then they've got 3 weeks with the bye week when they don't have to travel. And at this point in the season, that's when you get healthy, for your stretch run the second half of the season. So a very favorable next couple weeks when you overlook that New England game.
Thursday night game in Atlanta in November, and then another road game at Carolina. Going up against the NFC South. 3rd and 12 now, 2:02 to play. And McGahee short of a first down. It'll be 4th down for Baltimore when we come back. That is officially the 2-minute warning with 1:58 to go here in the 4th. 1:58 to play here in Baltimore. 31-10. Ravens in front. Cook to punt. Eddie Royal, return man for Denver. Fair catch. And he's got it at the 10-yard line. And that's where Denver will open up this drive. The executive producer of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus, the vice president of production of CBS Sports, Harold Bryant, the producer of today's game, the birthday boy, Bob Monsbach. Happy birthday, Bob. Today's game, directed by Suzanne Smith. It's not her birthday. Coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS, Lance Barrow. Coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Steve Karasek. The associate directors of today's game, Jonathan Siegel, Alana Campbell. Broadcast associates, Eric Spitzer and Adam Holzman. Technical manager, Doug Fleetum. Technical director, Terry Rozich. Audio supervisor, Phil Adler. And the rest of our fantastic crew here in Baltimore. Josh Wilson had an opportunity for a pick on Kyle Orton. 1:48 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's a final. Indianapolis has defeated Kansas City. First loss of the season for the Chiefs. And the Colts win at home 19-9.
Yeah, I didn't think Kansas City was going to go undefeated this year. I just had that feeling.
Really?
Yeah. They're much improved, though.
You have such insight. Orton, deep ball, up for grabs, and a penalty. Lloyd matched up with Wilson. Wilson claiming it was Lloyd that was pushing and shoving. You just saw the reaction from Wilson that he's not going to get the call he wanted. Acquired in a trade with Seattle. And the officials having a conversation.
Defense, number 37. Spiral to foul, automatic first down.
Yeah, the Maryland Terp graduate gets nailed for this penalty. The fans certainly didn't like that call. I think at this point of the game, the referees should just sew their pockets shut. Hang on to those flags.
So you think that's a play on?
Is that a soccer term?
Play on. Nobody home there as Orton was looking for Gaffney. They were not on the same page. It's incomplete. And Jim Zorn. Yeah, Jim Zorn, I seem to remember Zorn was part of a Nike campaign with Dan Fouts back in the 80s. Bunch of quarterbacks lined up.
It was called the Field Generals. And
is that what it was called?
Mixed in among.
Is that it?
The generals were a few lieutenants.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's it. Let's see. We'll just scratch that old guy out of there.
What look was that you were going for exactly?
Drama.
It was dramatic.
It's a General Pershing look.
Gaffney bottled up out near midfield.
Yeah, we had Jim Zorn, Jim Plunkett in there.
Who else?
Well, Eric Hipple. Archie Manning was in there.
Archie was in there.
He was a general. Still is.
Mark Wilson.
Mark Wilson. Yeah, Vince Evans was in there. A lot of big names.
3rd and 2.
I can get you one of those if you want.
No, you can't. Don't tease me. Eddie Royal has got a first down. What I would do to have a copy of that poster in my room. Look at that.
Oh, there. Yeah, that's good. Oh, Burt Jones on the side here. Now there's a great quarterback.
There you go.
Yep.
That's a little flavor, Baltimore flavor.
You talk about cool. He was cool.
Legitimately.
Absolutely.
Orton dials up the deep ball and caught. Brandon Lloyd hauls it in. Second touchdown of the day and another long one. It'll be in a losing effort, but impressive nonetheless. 44 yards.
Now, this has been the highlight for the Denver offense today. Prevent defense by the Ravens. Too much speed and body control by Brandon Lloyd. Another beautiful catch in traffic.
And with that, Orton goes over 300. 4th consecutive game, just the 2nd Bronco to do that, joining Brian Greasy, who stopped by the booth earlier. Now the Denver Broncos radio analyst.
That's why I don't understand why the Broncos punted their last possession on 4th down.
Yep, agreed. Josh Wilson was back there defensively.
It just
And Wilson is banged up on the play.
It just sends such a negative message to your team. Expect your team to fight for 60 minutes. Give us a chance.
And Wilson's slow to get up. Medical staff out there.
He grabbed for his hamstring. He may have cramped up. He may have really cramped up when he saw Lloyd make the catch.
Yeah, the result of the play, 5 catches, 135 yards, 2 touchdowns for Lloyd. And a timeout was charged to Baltimore because Wilson could not get off the field. Kyle Orton, 22 of 38, 314 yards, 2 touchdowns. Boy, he is on pace to put up some ridiculous stats.
And if they don't get the running game going, if Sean Moreno can't get his hamstring healthy in a real hurry, Orton's going to be forced to throw and throw and throw. Offensive line, only 1 sack today in all these pass attempts. And Orton's thrown the ball away effectively, but he's going to take a beating.
Hey, you know, the other part of it too, Dan, is obviously you want to get your #1 running back back, but it's not like it's a guarantee when Moreno comes back that the running problems are gone. And Moreno's a young player himself, still trying to find his niche in the NFL.
Yeah, he's only averaging 2.8 yards per carry. Look at this beautiful tight spiral right on the money to Lloyd for another long touchdown catch.
(31-17), Baltimore, 35 seconds left. For Kyle Orton, came in with 1,419 yards, tack on another 314. So he's looking at 1,733 yards through 5 games.
And you got to have an onside kick right here, Ian. This is a desperate time with so little time left, but this is really your only chance.
Coming up, second half of the doubleheader. Tennessee at Dallas. San Diego matched up with Oakland. We'll have it for you. The NFL on CBS. 31-17, Baltimore in front of Denver. Broncos looking for an onside kick here to make this one more interesting. Chris Carr is back deep, but he's not going to touch the football.
You got 6 Ravens right here. They're anticipating Prater kicking one their way.
Prater puts it up in the air and handled by Houshmandzadeh. So we mentioned Orton's numbers, over 1,700 yards through 5 games. This is the most prolific numbers through the first 5 games of any NFL season. Kurt Warner back in 2000, nearly 2,000 yards. Montana, Culpepper, Bledsoe in 02 and 94, and there's Kyle Orton just shy of Drew Bledsoe.
It's amazing you don't see Dan Marino's name on there.
No? Or Dan Fouts.
Slow starter.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That was in the scouting report? The Baltimore Ravens making a statement that they are one of the best teams in football. 31-17, Ravens over Denver.